Weeks of outrage and protests, a local mother is heading to prison for 20 years.
Marissa Alexander fired a shot at her husband and his two children. She claimed it was self-defense, but a jury didn't see it that way. Tonight, we're taking you inside the evidence to find out why the state says its case against her was right. Action News' Leslie Corsi is getting your questions answered tonight. Leslie?
It's a story that's really struck a nerve with Jacksonville. Marissa Alexander sentenced to 20 years in prison for firing a gun at her husband and his two children. Now, for the first time, we are seeing what the jury saw, hearing the evidence that led to their guilty verdict, and hearing why the state attorney is furious that Alexander has been portrayed in the media as the victim. State Attorney Angela Corey and her prosecutors paint a very different picture of Marissa Alexander. While the local mother of three has been portrayed as a domestic violence victim who lived in fear of her husband, the state says it was her husband who was in fear that day in August of 2010 when he called 911.
He just shot at me and my son. I'm asking, please hurry and get the police over here, please.
Most people in this country believe today that Marissa Alexander was being choked, grabbed a gun, and fired a warning shot into the ceiling. Flat wrong. Never happened that way.
The state says the evidence was clear. Alexander fired at her husband and his two young children. They showed the jury these pictures of bullet holes in the walls of their home that prove their point.
There was no warning shot into the ceiling.
Shortly after the August shooting, Alexander was released on bond. 4 months later, she returned to her husband's home. He again called police, and she was arrested again.
What's going on? Just left around here in front of my two sons, when she already out on bail, and bust my eye. I was trying to get out my garage, she wouldn't leave, and I just had to sit there and take all those punches in front of my kids.
These pictures show the swollen black eye she gave her husband. She has no visible injuries in either of her mugshots.
And if she had been beaten the way she was claiming, she would have shown some kind of significant injuries. There were none.
She claimed self-defense, claimed the stand your ground law should have prevented her arrest in the first place. Time and time again, the facts did not back up her claim.
Ms. Alexander was able to put that same claim of self-defense before a jury, and again, a jury elected not to believe her, but that she was not, in fact, acting in self-defense.
The state says the facts of the case don't support the picture painted of Alexander in the media. Despite that, they say this is a woman who was given the benefit of the doubt. The state offered to knock 17 years off of her 20-year sentence.
To all the people saying, why didn't you show her mercy? We did. We offered her 3 years. And people need to get their facts straight.
Corey says the perception that an innocent woman was sent to prison is completely false. She was given a fair and public trial, and if anyone had bothered to attend, they would know that. Alexander's attorney plans to appeal. In the studio, Leslie Corsi, CBS 47 Action News.
All right.